want to welcome you to the very first episode of what we're calling Vibrant Living. I'm Dave Tosch. I'm the Executive Director of the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. And we are very pleased to be bringing you some programming, some new programming to NCWLIFE. We're going to be doing a weekly show. It's going to consist of an hour of exercise called Vibrant Motion and a half-hour episode of Vibrant Living, which is somewhat of a lifestyle variety show that I think will enable us to engage with our senior population. Not only our senior center members, but also the community at large. And hopefully stay in touch with you, especially during this time of closure during the COVID-19 epidemic. And also to promote the senior center and make sure that the community understands what all it is we do at the senior center on a day-to-day basis. Obviously, we're closed. The senior center remains closed. And our thrift store is currently open. But again, this is a mechanism for us to stay in touch. I believe that it's important for us to stay in touch, as I've said, for a lot of reasons. People are at home looking for things to do. We know that NCWLIFE has a large reach in terms of their broadcasting in our area. And we think that when the word gets out that the seniors will be checking us out, everybody's welcome to listen in and watch the broadcast. When the COVID-19 outbreak occurred, we knew that there had to be some other ways of staying in touch with our seniors as we closed and remain closed, and we're not sure when we're going to be able to open our doors up again. Many people in our community are not sure what the senior center is all about. Our official name is the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. We are not a nursing home. We're not an assisted living facility. We are an activity center, and everybody that comes here comes for the social engagement with other seniors and friends, but also for all of the activities and services that we offer. We take a lot of pride in the fact that we are completely independent. We figure out how to raise all of the funds to pay for all of the things that we do here, our staff, our utility bills, all of the things that we need to take care of is generated by all the things that we do right here, along with our advertisers for our newsletter and some of the other community organizations like the North Central Washington Community Foundation, which holds a large endowment for us. But that's what allows us to maintain our independence, which is really critical to the success of this organization and being able to make our own decisions on how we run the operation and manage all of the folks that are coming and going constantly when we are open. And we do have almost 2,000 members currently. We do distribute a monthly newsletter to all of those members. If you wish to become a member, please call us at 662-7036 and we can provide the information you need to become a member. We also have our website, www.wenatcheeseniorcenter.com. Today I'm here with Earl and Barbara Tilly. Well, I want to tell one little story, and then I'm going to have Barbara speak a few minutes. So in Cashmere, we had 3 barber shops, and one of them was owned by Barbara's dad, and his name was Waldo, last name Bartroff. Well, the children in town gravitated to Waldo. In fact, there were times where the line, I think, was coming out the door, so to speak. They'd kind of stand along the edge of the building there waiting to get in to get a chair after school was out. I do remember some of those days. So Waldo had a famous saying to calm kids down when they got in the chair and they were acting up or not minding. he would kind of pull on their earlobe and say, and put his little razor out there and say, "How about some ear soup?" I do remember that. I think he had to do that with me one time. I don't know that he ever had to do it again. But those are memories, fond memories that I have of growing up in Kashmir. And you know, Barbara's mother was a kindergarten teacher there in Kashmir for years. And fortunately, she didn't have to deal with me in her class, because I don't recall her being my kindergarten teacher. I think I've talked already quite a bit. I wanted to just have Barbara kind of maybe substantiate the story I just told, and just speak a little bit about her upbringing in Kashmir and in the Valley, and then we'll go on from there.
Fine, Dave, thank you. No, what you told was true. I was closer to my mom than I was to my dad, I guess because of her Christian faith and active in the church, the Baptist church that was right next door to your parents' business. And my mother always felt that the important thing in life was to be helping others, not to be so concerned about yourself and what you were doing, but help others. And I remember I always had 2 jars. If I earned $1 babysitting, I had to put 10 cents into my church jar and 10 cents into my college jar. And so she inspired me all through life, and to this day I look back at her as being the one who influenced me to want to be active in the community and really help other people.
So Earl, as we conclude our get-together today, you've done so many things, but is there, what is the one thing that you had the most gratification in accomplishing in all of the projects you've done here in Wenatchee?
Well, I would say it was the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. I mean, this is a jewel for our entire valley, with its members from other communities who come here on a regular basis and enjoy the various services and programs that you're offering. And the meals here are excellent. You know, and that's an important aspect. You've got a good staff here. There are other things that you can probably take pride for being a part of, and but that just kind of goes with the jobs that I've had, whether it's in the legislature helping people who've got a problem somewhere with a state agency like either DSHS or L&I, and taking their case to the appropriate manager of that program and asking them to review it and see if they're handling that case properly, if there's the rest of the story, so to speak. And
well, you've done a lot in your lifetime here.
And and little things that, as mayor, and these are little things, but they're important. So in 1993, I was elected to the mayor. I remember going to the budget hearing before I was sworn in, and they were talking about buying another car for the mayor, and I said, I don't need a car. Give that car to somebody who really needs it. They were talking about putting in a new fuel station down on Worthen Street, where the old Public Works building was. And I don't know, it was going to run 40, 50 grand, something like that. And I said, I wonder if we could work a deal with the PUD and get them we could refuel there. So I contacted the PUD. They said, sure. So then the other thing was that the parks down on the river, when they were built, the PUD built those parks, but the city in 1993 was still trying to take care of them, and they didn't have enough money to do it properly. And so the PUD was in the process of relicensing one of the dams. I think it was Rock Island. And they had to prove stewardship of the river. And I said to Don Kay, I couldn't talk to Barbara, but to Don Kay, I said, Don, I said, you know what, I think it would really help your relicensing if you guys took back the park maintenance. Mm-hmm. And they got back to us, yeah, we can do that.
Easy vote.
And but that saved the city $200,000 a year. Mm-hmm. But there again, cooperation.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Barbara, did you want to speak about that that little decision that was made there?
Right. Try not to talk about it over the dining room table. No, I was going to say that my charitable organizations that probably were my favorites were Habitat for Humanity and Packing Friendship. But my job favorite was being a PUD commissioner for 2 terms. That's 2 6-year terms. And we have some of the cheapest power in the nation, which enables a lot of wonderful things to happen in this area. So it was very rewarding to be part of the policy making for that decision. And then the next thing I would have mentioned too is the parks. What a thing that has changed the culture of the Wenatchee Valley to have the trail.
Yeah.
I'm sure we run into both of you on the trail. But those are some of the highlights. But then it comes down also to being able to help some poor family. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you say that's one of my that keeps me awake at night, that it's so rewarding when you can see a change in the family's life because someone has helped them get an opportunity they wouldn't have had.
Very much so.
That's all.
Well, thank you, both of you, today for sharing some of those memories and ideas. I really appreciate it. I know the folks that are tuning in are really probably smiling and saying to themselves, these people made a really big difference in our community, and we appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Jim Heinlein. I'm an independent agent, and 16 years ago, we started Senior Insurance Services in North Central Washington. Just recently, we've changed our name to Springwater Insurance Group to reflect that we do more than just Medicare. However, when I first got started, I chose Medicare because agents had told me that was an area that wasn't really focused on by other agencies. So, Springwater Insurance Group, our primary focus is Medicare and Medicare education. And what we really love doing most at Springwater, and it'll be kind of a surprise, but we don't sell insurance. No. We teach people how to buy insurance because that's a much friendlier process. Because as you understand what's going on, then together we can work to come up with what's your most suitable plan. Now we're in this time of year called annual election period where we shop and compare what do we want to do for next year. So give us a call at Springwater Insurance Group so we can teach you what is the most suitable coverage for you for next year. Call us at 888-2600.
Hello, I'm Dave Tosch. I'm the Executive Director of the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. I'm here outside our thrift store, which is behind the building, 1312 Maple Street in Wenatchee. And we are open and doing a lot of business right now with the community. We appreciate all the support that we've been getting, not only with donations, but our customers also. And we are open during these restrictions for retail operations. We're meeting all of those restrictions. We're very, very pleased, though, overall with how we've been able to operate since the middle of June when we reopened the thrift store. Obviously, the remainder of the senior center is closed to the public and our seniors, and when that reopens, we will make some changes. But right now, we've been able to expand our thrift store into other areas of the senior center that we've not previously used for the thrift store, and that allows us to meet all of the requirements and mandates that we have under the COVID-19 restrictions. With me today is Rosalie Richardson, the chairman of the board for the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. And Rosalie is a big help here with supporting the senior center and the thrift store and what all she does. And she's very knowledgeable about the thrift store and how it functions and how well it's been functioning. And I'd just like her to make a few comments about what she's seen and experiencing here.
Thank you. He gives me too much credit. My experience with the thrift store is that I give a lot of my things to the thrift store because I happen to be a little bit of a shopping freak. But I want to tell you about our thrift store a little bit and about the kind of material we have here in the thrift store. As you can see, though, I want to let everybody know our sign here. We are the world's best thrift store. And that's the Wenatchee world's best thrift store for our valley for 3 years running. And this is a really nice banner that they give us, which we hang up and let everybody enjoy. But I want to let everybody know the kind of material we have here at our thrift store. First of all, I have to say we have one of the best staffs that I have ever had the privilege to work with. We have an awful lot of volunteers, but we also have paid staff that work very, very hard every day to make this thrift store what it is. The material that we take in is excellent material. We don't take anything in. We don't put anything out on the floor that hasn't been thoroughly gone through. It's all clean. It all works. We test everything before it goes in on our shelves. And we have a wide variety of things. We have all kinds of books, we have all kinds of pictures, we have all kinds of videos, we have furniture, and of course we have women's clothing, men's clothing, children's toys. We have a wide variety of household goods. And like I said, everything has been checked out so that it is not broken. It all works. It's clean, and you just can't do better than come here and buy things that are gently used, and they really are gently used. Our director here for the thrift store, Shannon, is adamant about making sure that everything that goes on our shelves or on our racks has been gone through thoroughly. So you have no worries about getting it home and having it not work or not fit or have a tear. We get donations in from around the valley, but the main source of our donations come from our own senior center members, and they bring in things all the time that are very good, and they keep us really well supplied. In fact, we are so well supplied that we have to have sales very frequently to get rid of enough stuff so that we can put the new things out. So if you get an opportunity, come here to 1312 Maple Street. Come around to the back of the Senior Center building, and that's where you'll find our thrift shop. And we are more than welcome. You're more than welcome to come in and enjoy all of the good things we have to offer you.
And if you do access Facebook, go to Facebook and like us on Facebook. We do a lot of updates on our sales. We do have sales during seasonal times, and right now, I'm talking middle of September, we've just got all of our fall and winter clothing out, and obviously that'll go on for a while. And then I know a lot of you are aware that we have a Christmas room during the holidays. We will have that up and running here probably, I don't know, around the first part of November. We'll have that going. It'll look a little different this year, again, with all of the restrictions and things we've had to do. But check us out on Facebook. I think that's a good way to keep up with what we're doing here at the thrift store.
Well, I can tell you that one of the things at the thrift store right now, because we've been able to open our thrift store, one of the things that it is doing is providing us with the money that we need to keep our building open, to keep it clean and safe for our customers coming into the thrift store. And as Dave said, the thrift store itself is open, but the rest of the building is closed. And the thrift store is providing us the income that we need in order to maintain this building so that when we do reopen, it will be in excellent shape and ready for the public to come back in, as we hope will happen before too long.
We are an independent nonprofit organization, and we have to figure it out as to where all the money's going to come from to support us. And obviously, the thrift store is our primary source of funding, and that is really critical overall to our operations here. And once we get up and running, we'll be ready, set, go, and a lot of it I have to give the credit to the thrift store and what they're doing.
Exactly. And to all of our customers who love to come and shop at our thrift store. We encourage you to come and look and see what we have and go home with your arms loaded.
Well, in reading the history of the senior center, it was something that was somewhat of an afterthought after they got the building built. It wasn't really designed to have a thrift store in it, and so we have evolved over a long period of time. I think we're up to 27 years now that we have been in the current location. It was built for the senior center, but again, the thrift store's probably been operating around 20 years, maybe a little longer than that. But we've grown by leaps and bounds. They are a little more robust than it first started out in terms of the amount of space that we have devoted to the thrift store. But again, it's critical to our overall operations to have this store. And our sales have been doing extremely well, especially right now during all of the restrictions. We've been able to perform extremely well. And again, as Rosalie said, it's all due to our management and our staff and our volunteers that are back here working.
I want to introduce our director for our thrift shop. We had a question about what some of the unique things were that our thrift shop has received over the years in the way of donations and what we sell. And I want Shannon to answer that question for me. So this is Shannon. She is our director of our thrift store, and she is a godsend, believe me.
You're too nice. So I think some of the unique things that we've had, we get different things every day, so it's a big variety. I see things that I've never seen on a weekly basis for sure. We have one older gentleman that comes in and he donates wood toys that he makes in his shop. He was a carpenter for years, and we save them all up for the whole year, and then we put them in our Christmas room. So right now we're asking people not to bring their donations in through our door where they used to bring them. And we're taking donations now over in Suite D along the side of the building. There's a big sign out there that says donations here.
A lot of people thought that even when they heard about the thrift store, that it was somewhat designed for seniors and that the public wasn't necessarily invited because, it was kind of hidden from view. The thrift store's behind the building. You have to travel around the building and park in the back of the building to access the thrift store, especially right now when the rest of the senior center is closed. That's the only way you can access the thrift store is behind the building. So you do have to come into the main driveway, and circle around the building to find it. And I think, though, that word's gotten out pretty good, and people might just drive on by thinking that we're not open. But yes, we are. I hope you've enjoyed our first show. We're looking forward to coming your way with more entertaining interviews and senior activities. See you next week with more Vibrant Living.